in a neutral position so that you're not rounding or arching. It's just there. And for a moment here, think about filling in the space between your shoulder blades and really drawing the belly button into your spine. And then from here, what you're going to try to do is reach the right arm forward, but try to keep the weight of your body evenly distributed between the 3 points of contact on the floor, which is kind of tricky. You're probably going to feel yourself push more into your right knee and your left arm. Try to keep some weight in the left knee as well. So put the right arm down, push into all your points of contact on the mat, and then go ahead and reach the left arm and try to keep the weight evenly distributed between the 3 points of contact on the mat. And we're going to try that again. So reach, and it's hard. I mean, it's nearly impossible to do. Go ahead and switch. But one way you can kind of get yourself closer to it is by keeping the core really engaged and moving slowly so that there's no big shifts as you extend your arm. So let's try this a couple more times on both sides. And we'll do it once more on each side. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing with the legs. So push into the hands, draw the navel center into the spine, and reach the right leg back. And again, just try to be mindful of where your body weight is going and try to keep it in the 3 points of contact on the floor. Put the right leg back and then send your left leg back. And again, just be mindful of where your weight is. You can shift it a little bit, but try to get it even between the 3 points of contact on the floor. Left leg down, go ahead and switch back to the right. Right leg down and switch back to the left. And you can drop your chin a little bit and look at your pelvis, and this is a good position to actually see it. And switch. So you might be able to see if you're out of alignment here. And switch. And then lower the left leg down. And now we'll reach the right arm and the left leg. And to do that, you're really pressing into all 4 points of contact on the mat. And be careful now. So reach the right arm and the left leg and just be mindful of where your body weight is going. Try not to let it shift. And then lower down. Left arm, right leg. And shift. So take a moment to stabilize before you lift, and then lift and reach. And lower. And lift and reach, other side. And lower down. And keep trying to stabilize before you move. Let's do a couple more here. Think about the space between your shoulder blades and really filling in that space. So no shoulder blade wings are poking through. You're engaged through the shoulder girdle. And we're just going to do one more on each side. And last time. And lower down and come back to this position, this bird dog position, right arm, left leg. And then take the right arm away from the midline and the left leg away from the midline. And pull it back in. And lower down and change your side again. So find the stabilization, reach the left arm, reach the right leg, and then move everything away from your midline. And then back to the midline. And down. And then just once more on each side. So reach, stabilize, open away from the midline with both the arm and the leg. Pull it back to the midline. And lower back down. And then last time. Reach, open, pull it back in, and lower it down. Okay, and then from here, stay with the arms, keep the arms as they are. Turn your toes under and hover your knees just a little bit off the mat. and then step the right leg back as though it was going to go into a plank, and then take it back to the all fours position. And step the left leg back as though it was going to go into a plank, and then take the left leg back to the starting position. So stay stable through the upper body and move the lower body only. So you're just kind of marching in place here, but it's a lot of work for the upper body. Keep the core engaged. Upper body stays steady and stable, and the lower body is doing the moving. Let's do one more on each side. So the right leg goes back, pull it in, left leg goes back, pull it in, and lower down. And then from here, I'm going to have you change directions and come to a seated position. And then from the seating position, we'll warm up our core a little bit here, a little bit more. Okay, you can keep a hold of your legs, and we're going to do a C curve here. So if you're not familiar with Pilates, this is a real common Pilates move that we do. I like to think of it as being, I don't know why I like to think of it this way, but I find it effective to think of it like you're getting punched in the gut. So, if somebody was punching you right in the stomach, you would kind of recoil the stomach and round the back a little bit. So it's not rounding the upper back. I know you can do that. Think about rounding through the low back, like the belly button was going into the spine, and the spine was kind of pushing out towards the back side of the back. Okay, so you can do that C curve shape here. Let the shoulders lower down. You can keep a hold of the backs of your legs if you want to. You're also welcome to reach the hands forward. This will be a little bit more difficult. I'm going to hold on to my legs. Lower down to about the waistline, and then come on back up. And you're only coming up about halfway. Don't come all the way up. Lower down to the waistline so you can feel your waistline tap the mat, and lift back up. And lower down, and lift back up. And we'll do 5, 4. If it's going well, you might want to try it with no hands. 3. Let the shoulders relax. Keep pulling the rib cage in. 2. And 1. Hold it down and take your elbows down. So your elbows are lowering down, but you're still holding the C curve shape of your back and of your low belly. And then take the legs up and lower the right leg down and switch left leg down and switch right leg, switch left leg. And we'll do 6, switch, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then hold it here. And if open your knees actually a little bit so you're in frog legs. Lower both legs down, tap, and lift. And we'll do 5 like this. Keep pulling the low belly in. Upper body stays steady, it's not moving, and you're moving from the waist down only. Just 2 more. And if it's too much, you change your range of motion. You don't have to go all the way to the mat if that's too much for you. And then from here, put both feet down and lie all the way down onto your back. And from this reclined position, you want to have a little bit of space between your waistline and the mat, and think about drawing the rib cage in. Push your shoulder blades down firmly into the mat. Feel the collarbone spread a little bit. We're going to do some leg changes here, but we're really going to focus on the shifting of the body weight. From here, with your feet bent, with your knees bent, really press firmly into both feet, and then lift the right leg up to the tabletop position. So it's a small movement. Lower the right leg down, and then try to shift the weight out of the left leg and into the right leg so that you don't feel such a big push with the leg that's on the mat as you switch. So the left leg goes down, the right leg comes up, and you're really paying attention to that moment when you transition from the right to the left or the left to the right. So instead of pushing with the foot that's on the mat, you're trying to be really light and lift. So it's a little bit of a precise movement, but I think that this is is practical and relatable to yoga because we spend so much time transitioning in yoga, and finishing the movement and staying in control all the way to the end is really important, but it's also something that we often overlook or just avoid. And we'll just do a couple more like this. Again, these small movements. Keep pulling the rib cage in, and just one more. And now both feet are down. And then from here, from both feet down, interlace the hands behind the head, elbows are wide, and take both legs up. We're just going to do a couple of chest lifts here. So your head and your shoulders float up off the mat, and then you're going to curl up and look in between your legs. Inhale, lower back down, and repeat. So exhale, come up and curl and pause, and inhale, lower down. And we'll do 6 more. And 5. And 4. 3. Exhale up for 2. And 1. And then hold it lifted. Reach your left armpit over to your right leg. Let your right elbow go to the mat. Inhale through the middle, back to the center. Exhale, rotate. And it's really important here, inhale to the middle, exhale, rotate, that you reach from the armpit versus the elbow. And that's going to help your neck. It's also going to help you get up a little bit higher. Again, reach with the armpit and switch. Left armpit to the right knee and switch. Right armpit to the left knee and switch. And let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lower down. And you can lower